Hello my lovely Red Mare crew. This is going to be quite a serious video because I want to talk to you about mental health. There's some kind of mental health awareness day or something coming up. I think it might be tomorrow. And I've just seen a few things about it lately. I work in the mental health field, I suppose you might say. I work for a charity which helps veterans and children, and the veterans often will have PTSD or will be coming out of some kind of extreme anxiety or depression, often with what the professionals horribly call suicidal ideation, which basically just means thinking about killing yourself. So I'm really used to that now. It's fascinating. I used to be a little bit scared of all that kind of thing because it felt unfamiliar and unknown, and I didn't know what to say. You know, if people were really struggling, I had that awful British embarrassment. You're always going to say the wrong thing or use the wrong tone of voice. You know that one? Whereas now, that's my new normal. Sort of people who are either are really struggling or have really struggled or just have stuff going on in the head. That's very familiar to me now. And the other people we work with are children who are struggling in school, so that might be with a number of mental conditions. Again, whether it's anxiety is a really big one. I really see that with this younger generation, and I do worry about it. And also, as you know, all my regular lovely viewers know, I love racing, and I grew up in racing, and that's why I have an ex-racehorse, and that's why I love thoroughbreds. That was the legacy my dad gave me. Hello, Flo. Flo's a bit grumpy because she's not getting a snack. It's because you're not going riding. Feeny needs a snack. Yes, she does, to line her tummy. Anyway, that's a rather rambly way, as if I ever did anything else but ramble. That's a rather rambly way of saying these are all subjects which are close to my heart and which I think about, and which I'm reasonably familiar with, I suppose. And what I was thinking was that it's very obvious to me that you can use horses to help your mental health. To me, that's just so obvious. It's like Ant and Bee. It's ABC. It's Dr. Zeus. And that's partly because I work with these veterans and I watch what the horses do with them. And we put them together with horses in various different situations, and we really treat the horses as a healing element. They do very much similar horsemanship to that which I do. So there's a lot of standing and breathing and connecting and being still and seeing the world through the horse's eyes. And they do get to ride, but it's not really about the ride. It's about the relationship. Isn't it, Booble? Yes, it is. Yes, have you finished your snack? And I see extraordinary changes in people. So to me, it's really obvious that horses... Are you off? Where are you going? All right, Flo, do you want to stay? It's really obvious that horses can make all the difference to the way that you go through life and the way that you see the world. And then I suddenly think, actually, that's not obvious at all. And that lots of people use horses in a way which can be antithetical to mental health, particularly if you're in competition. You know, if that's the thing you do with your horse, because then you're in a quite difficult binary, which is winning and losing. And there's so many possibilities for failure, or for what you might tell yourself as failure. Whereas the way that I work with horses is not about that at all. It's quite difficult to fail now if you're me. I mean, I suppose unless they absolutely hated me, that would be a pretty big failure. But, you know, we're not up against other horses. We're not up against other humans. We don't have to jump higher. We don't have to run faster. We don't have to scold ourselves if the dressage judges didn't like our test. There's a lot of this, which is just being together with absolutely no expectation. That's something I really work on. And I think that's incredibly useful for your mental health. So what I want to talk to you about, and I'm going to make a few videos about this because I don't want this one to get too long, is... Oh, she's back. Hello. Did you just go for a little wander? Did you? You want to sniff the drain pipe for some reason? You are funny. Yes, I don't want this to get too long, but I do want to talk to you about really, really simple ways that you can let your horse help you be a happier, easier, more balanced human being. And, oh, shall we see if I can get up? This is where the old knees crack a bit. There we go. And I think if one person watches one of these videos and feels a little bit better about their life, a little bit less anxious, a little bit less worried, a little bit less self-critical, then we will have done our job, won't we? Because that's what we're here for. Yes, it is. Okay, should we go and have a little ride now? Is that your bugger off Florence face? Is it? Is that your bugger off Florence face? She's quite, well, how shall we say? We try not to use disobliging adjectives in this field, but she is, look at that. Flo, she is quite mischievous, because you're not supposed to make that face at the red mare. No. Feeny, don't let her get away with it. Very interesting. Hey. Hey. Yeah. She is so complex, this one, because she goes mad sometimes when Feeny and I go away. And yet when they're together, yeah, it's all, oh, I'm making a play for power. I don't think she really wants to be the lead mare, because it's a really tough job and I wouldn't do it. You have to be responsible for everybody all the time. But I think she does want to push boundaries. Yeah. And look, see, the amazing thing is Feeny lets her. The red mare is incredibly wise as a leader now. This is not what I was going to talk about, but is that she doesn't, look at that. She's very forgiving. She doesn't fight the stupid battles. She lets them get away with little stuff. So it's as if she knows that Flo is young and doesn't know much. And there's no point micromanaging, and there's no point, you know, fighting every fight. She waits for the battles that are worth pitching. And she didn't used to do that when she first had a herd. She used to overdo everything in the way that people do when they're a bit insecure. So look at how she dealt with that. That was really beautiful. Actually, there is a mental health thing, because if you have any leadership role, whether it's in your family or in business, and when I say in your family, I'm of course thinking of the mums, because you do have to steer that ship. You could really learn so much from that, from the way she dealt with that. Yes, you are a wise old bird, aren't you? I learn something from you every day. Good girl. Right, we're off now. We'll see you all later.